want to start with the statement, which was a lot of the journalism that's been going on the last couple of days has been really dishonest. I don't want to point fingers at anybody, but I do feel like what was done was someone came to our building outside of operating hours. When there's a specific sign on our door that says our days and our hours, he came outside of those hours and then claimed, hey, they're closed and they're still making money. They're using taxpayer money to work. And it's like, you don't come outside of operational hours and then say they're using taxpayer money. That was completely false. As you can see, we're open Mondays through Thursdays, 2 to 10 p.m. He was here earlier. I don't see him right now. So it's like, are you trying to record that we're doing fraud, or are you trying to put the Somali name and the fraud in the same sentence? That's what really hurt us the last couple of days. We're open. We've been open. We haven't closed. We've been open for eight and a half years now. We haven't closed once during that period. So I wanted to touch on that first. The second thing is, which is kind of laughable, is the sign. We messed up the sign. We paid somebody to do our sign. He incorrectly did it. We're having him work on it. We paid him to correct the sign. He said it'll be done by this week. So by the end of this week, our sign will be fine. The third thing, which is the fraud claim. There's no fraud going on whatsoever. Kids come to us, clients come to us, their parents come to us. They're here daily. They leave on time. They come on time. There's no fraud going on whatsoever. Where those claims came from, I mean, if a group of people does fraud, you don't paint the brush with everyone in that group. You don't say, hey, there's a group of people that are Somali that are doing fraud. Say, hey, every single Somali must be part of fraud. No, we're business owners. Being a business owner is extremely tough. Trying to raise kids that are not yours, that are others, is extremely tough as well. But then for people to come and go like, hey, they're not really working, they're just taking free money. If any of us have children here, raising children is not easy. Trying to help them with schoolwork, trying to build their manners is not easy work. So when somebody comes and does that, it's really disheartening in the community itself. As Minnesota, as Somalis, as people that own this business for 8 years now, we do nothing but to uplift the community, uplift our children, uplift one another, uplift non-Somalis, uplift Somalis, to make a better community for all of us. So when somebody comes in and says, hey, they're not doing it, it's just like if he would have came during operational hours and there's no one here, okay, you've got a point. He came, I think it was 11 a.m. Obviously, there's no cars in the parking lot. If you look around, there's cars now. Yeah, because our employees are here, our children are here, our clients are here. But don't come at 10 a.m. and get like, hey, their door's not open. Obviously, our door's not going to be open at 10 a.m. We're not open 10 a.m. That sign on the door says that.
So is this what the parking lot looks like every day at this time?
Talk about the process you go through to get a license for daycare?
And I think a lot of people are not familiar with it because not everyone's a daycare owner, not everyone takes their children to daycare. Opening a daycare license is not easy whatsoever. I see a lot of people pointing fingers at DHS. DHS does a good job to the point that if you ask most daycare owners, Somali or not Somali, it's a really strenuous process. You have to admit paperwork. You have to submit paperwork daily. You have to do a monthly. You have to do a yearly. They have to make sure kids are coming. They have to make sure parents are busy with work or school per se. If the parents are not occupied, we don't get paid. So for example, you bring your children to me. While we're open, if you're at home, we don't get paid for those children. Those children can't come to us. We can decide as daycare, hey, like out of just to do a favor for the parent, we'll bring the parents. But those kids, we're not going to get paid for it. That day their parents stop working or stop going to school, we don't get paid for it. So it's not like, hey, just enroll yourself in daycare. It's not that easy. The parents themselves, yearly, there's a redetermination form. How much they make, where they live, the house income, the size of the house. They have to fill all those out. What kind of income they make, both parents, how much they make. If they make over a certain threshold, the government does not pay for them. So it's not like the government is paying for people that have their pockets full. It's people that can't afford it and are working and are going to school. So the government and DHS make sure that person is not able to take care of the children. That's the only time they can bring it to our daycare or any daycare. If the parent is at home, we're not getting paid.
What do you say to people who say this is like all for show, like all the cars in the parking lot, the kids being dropped off now, it's only a response to that video? What do you say to that?
We spoke about this earlier. You guys can come tomorrow. You guys can come on Thursday. You guys come back Monday. If there's not this many cars, so let me know. There'll be this many cars. There'll be children going in and out because that's what a daycare center is.
Why would the commissioner say today that you have been closed for a whole week now, not due to fraud, but because of spacing issues?
No, we haven't. We've never had spacing issues. We've never discussed this with our licensor. We have a licensor that we deal with every 6 to 12 months. We've never had spacing issues. You have a certain capacity. We have capacity of 99 children. We can't take more than that. But we never had spacing issues. Like where all of that came from is completely false. We have kids going in and out. And like I told them earlier, you guys can come tomorrow. Check it out again. But what frustrates me is the YouTubers that are making the claims, where are they now? Like he was here, they were here earlier, you see kids and now you're not here. So where are you now?
On an
So how many
average
employees do you have? Because people think
Yep.
you're not taking all that money because
Yep.
you have employees. So
There's
can you talk about that?
employees, there's food that we have to serve them. We have to serve them lunch, 2 snacks, and dinner. For 60 plus kids, that bill is not small. That bill is not small. We pay the teachers, obviously. We have to pay the teachers a good wage, standard, if not more. When they're with us for a certain time, we have to increase their pay. We have to make sure the toys are up to date. We have to make sure even the electronics they use inside the building is up to date. So it's not like the money comes and it's in our pockets. It's hardworking people that are here. It's hardworking parents. It's hardworking employees. It's hardworking owners that make all this happen. It's not one or two people that make this happen.
What would you say to Nick Shirley, the YouTuber, if he was standing in front of you?
I have
right
nothing
now?
against him himself, but I do have something against the rhetoric. If you're gonna be a journalist, just have a moral compass. Like do what you do correctly. If you catch business that are fraud, no one here is with that, or like we don't support that as a community. I don't support that myself. I was born and raised here. I'm not for fraud. Like the notion that hey, a certain batch of Somalis got caught, so all of them support it. It's like no one. If in any community, any mishaps that happen, the rest of the community obviously doesn't want that to happen. It's a stain on all of our names, as you guys can see. We don't want that to happen. We don't take part in that. We don't like that. We don't want that in our communities. But just to say, hey, a certain company got caught, so they must all do it, and I feel like that's what he's doing. I'm not a fan of that.
2 to 10 p.m. may not be your typical daycare hours.
Yep.
So can
Yep.
you explain why it is that
The
you operate during
the
these
reason for
hours?
that is we're after school hours. So most of our clients, not most of our clients, all of our clients is after school hours. So schools earliest dismissal would be 2:15 to 2:30ish, and the latest dismissal would be up to like 4:30ish, 4:40ish. So that's when our kids come to us. We don't have anyone in the morning. We deal with only parents and clients that come to us after school. So that's why ours are 2 to 10 p.m. Just as a side note, if I try to tell you guys, if you try to open in the morning, it's not as advantageous because if the parent has 5 to 6 kids, they're not able to bring most of them because they're going to be at school. They'll bring you an infant, but you'll maybe have 8 to 10 infants. You can't really suffice a business with that.
There was a Zoom call today with the state, with politicians in the House, that said that you closed last week. I'm walking up, so yeah.
I discussed that with her. We never closed. There was never a sign on our door. There was never a time where kids were told to stop coming. There was never a time we told our employees to stop coming. All that's false information. Like where does this come from?
From a Zoom call today with the.
No, we were not closed. We were not closed. We didn't tell anyone we're closed. We didn't email anyone. We didn't contact anybody. We have a licensor. There's a specific form that you filled out. You can't just say, hey, I'm closed. You have to fill out a certain paper, send it back. That has to be approved by DHS and then be sent back for you to be closed per se. That was never done.
Do you think the commissioner mistook your facility for a different place, or how
I'd rather
exactly
not.
does the state get that
I'd rather
information?
not speak for them, but that's completely false information. That's nothing that we, like I said, filled out and submitted to anybody. So where does it come from?
Can we get a tour of the center?
Not right now, only because most daycares, the issue is parents do not allow us to have their children recorded. And this is not just daycares. I know a lot of journalists like to make it a daycare issue. You can't go in schools and like record children because we have forms when we're submitting our students. 99% of the time, the parents gonna say, "Hey, I don't want my child on any sort of camera." But for our own sake, when we're taking them to playgrounds and whatnot, we don't record them because the parents tell you not to. So it's out of the safety of the kids. That's why we specifically asked that the camera is over here and not over there, so the kids are not recorded. And once again, I'd like to conclude: the YouTuber that was making the claims, you were here earlier today. I came here at 1 o'clock. You were here. Where are you now? You claim we're closed. You claim we're a fraud. Where are you? Why are you not here right now? It's like you're trying to put out a certain message about a certain group. I'm not gonna make that claim. I don't want to make that claim without me knowing him personally, but that's what it seems like he's doing from his front. Where are you right now? He was here earlier. He was recording us. We had no issue with it. We told him, hey, just get off our property. You can record. Now he's not here.
Could you just confirm how many employees you have and how many students you're serving on an average day?
We have about 25 employees, and children, we're at 92, I believe it is. Our capacity is 99, so we don't really like to touch 90 and above. We're at 92 right now. Our capacity, though, is 99. That capacity is set by the fire marshal, not, like I said, this is not like something you can just write on a piece of paper. The fire marshal sets the standards for the building size. We didn't get to choose, hey, 99 children. We didn't get to choose that.
But how many would come in daily? How many kids, roughly?
50 to 80, depending on the day, depending on the weather, depending on if they play sports. There's a lot of different factors that go into it, but children are here. And like I said, I'll conclude this. You guys come here tomorrow. You guys come here Thursday. You guys can come here Monday. The kids will be here. Just federal holidays, just to be clear, I know there's a lot of rhetoric around federal holidays. Federal holidays are paid days for us. So we're closed on those days. Like New Year's Day, January 1st, we're not going to be here. Just to be clear, it's not because it's fraud. It's not because it's closed. Clients and parents all know alike. We're not open. Christmas Day, we weren't open. It's not because of fraud. It's not because we don't celebrate. We don't celebrate Christmas based on paid holiday. We're given a certain amount of calendar days throughout the year which we can submit as paid holidays, and it's one of those paid holidays. So, like I said,
Confirm for us the $4 million figure. We've been hearing that a lot. Is that
don't know where that came from. I have no idea where that came from.
$4 million?
That's a completely false claim. We don't make that much with the amount of children we have.
How much money are you receiving money from the state, or how does the funding work here for you all?
Yeah, I don't think people understand how that works at all.
The funding works. You're getting a certain threshold per child. The younger the child is, the more you get paid. The older they are, the younger they get paid. The less you're paid. So depending on how many children you have is how much you get paid per family. But we don't make those standards. CCAP and the government makes those standards. We don't make those standards. We're not allowed to bill a cent more. Like say for example, infant, you get paid a certain rate. You're not going to get paid a cent more than that once you bill it. So if there's a certain amount we make, that's from the kids we take care of. We feed, we clothe, we pick up, we drop off. That's what we submit to the government, and the government pays us for that. So it's not, none of this is stolen money.
The sign you said that
Will be fixed by this week. It'll be fixed by this week.
Has it been this way for the past 8.5 years that you've been open?
No,
Do you know?
no. We paid someone. We paid a graphic designer. Clearly didn't do a good job. We try to get back to him. I don't want to mention his name in his business for a while now, for like 3-4 months. I'm out of the country. I'm not here. I'll get it fixed, but by the end of this week, it'll be fixed.
The street is also misspelled. Do you notice that?
Huh?
The street is also misspelled, isn't it?
Well, both of those will be fixed by the end of the week. Both of those, but just the rhetoric that there's fraud going on. You guys can feel free to come. You guys can come tomorrow. Mondays through Thursdays, though. We're not open Fridays. It's not fraud. We're not open Saturdays. We're not open Sundays. You guys can feel free to come.
Can you tell us your
Closing anytime
No,
soon.
no.
Can you tell us your name again one more time?
Ali, A-I.
L-I, last
Yeah.
name?
Ibrahim.
Spell?
Ibrahim.
Okay.
Appreciate you guys.
What's your title, Ali? What's your title? Manager? Okay.